Hello everyone, I am Ritesh Chauhan working as an assistant professor in computer engineering department at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. So in this video we are going to cover the unit number 7, that is statistical reasoning. The topic which are covered in this video are probability, conditional probability, Bayes theorem, then the applications of Bayes theorem, certainty factors and rule-based system, then Bayesian network, and at last we see the concept of fuzzy logic. So what is probability? So in probabilistic approach of knowledge representation, a given sentence is labeled with a real number in the range of 0 to 1, as we know. 0 means the sentence is completely false and 1 means it is completely true. And a label which consists of 0.5 probability means there is an equal chance that the sentence has to be true or false. Suppose if coin is flipped, there is an equal chance of its landing on the head side or the tail side. So if we say that H1 stands for on the first toss of the coin, it lands heads up, we can express this by probability of H1 equal to 0.5. Let's say that H2 stands for on the second toss, the coin it lands heads up. Okay, then we know that probability of H2 is 0.5 as well. Okay. So it is well known that the probability of two successive but independent events occurring which do not interfere or depend on each other can be obtained by multiplying the probabilities of each event. So accordingly, in the case of tossing the coin twice, we say that the probability of the first and second toss both landing on heads is 0.5 into 0.5 equal to 0.25. Okay, when we toss and say that both are landing to the head, okay, at the both time the coin will landing to the head, then it is an probability of 0.5 for first event and 0.5 for second event, and the total probability of or landing on head is 0.25. So it can be written as probability of H1 and H2 equal to 0.25, which is landing on the head, and in general of two independent events, suppose P and Q, it is written as probability of P and Q equal to probability of P into probability of Q. So next one is conditional probability. Why we are learning probability and conditional probability? Because this both are come in the theorem of Bayes theorem. Okay, that's why we are first covering what is probability, simple definitions, and what is conditional probability and how we can express that conditional probability, and then we go for the Bayes theorem. Okay, so conditional or posterior probability of event A given that event B has already occurred is written as P of A given B, where this bar notation or this division sign notation is pronounced as given and is expressed as probability of A given B is equal to probability of A intersection B upon probability of B. So conditional probability applies for dependent event, and it means finding chance of happening something when related event has already occurred. Okay, for example, this is occurring right now, like it is raining today. Now what is the probability that it will rain tomorrow? That is known as conditional probability. Okay, so it represents the conditional knowledge that it might rain tomorrow as it is raining today. Okay, so the conditional probability of this particular sentence plus if this sentence is not occurred equal to 1. So 0.5 for this probability of A by B, and 0.5 that it may not running tomorrow. Okay, it may not rain tomorrow. That's why we are written using we are written here not. So all probabilities are default conditional probabilities as they all depend on the domain knowledge. That means always in reality we predict things on basis of knowledge that we already have. For example, if we are finding the probability of event A, this is equivalent to probability of event A by the domain knowledge of that particular event. Okay, say that A is a set of events such that it is not false. That's why here written probability of A is greater than 0. Then we can define a conditional probability with respect to the event A. That is, probability of B with respect to event A is equal to probability of B intersection A upon probability of event A. So this is what the conditional probability. Now, before proceeding with the Bayes theorem, let's see what is normal probability and what is conditional probability. Then we are going to the Bayes theorem. Okay. So, in normal probability, if there are two boxes, box A and box B, here it is, then what is the probability of selecting box A? Okay. So it is represented as probability of A equal to 1 by 2 because there are total two boxes. And we have to select any one, not any one, only A. That's why the probability of selecting A is 1 by 2. Similarly, the probability of selecting box B is also 1 by 2. If there is 3 boxes, then the probability of selecting box A is 1 by 3, box B is also 1 by 3, and probability of selecting box C is also 1 by 3. Okay. So now this 3 represents the number of boxes and 1 represents how many boxes you are going to select. Okay. Now there is an example of conditional probability. It is represented as probability of x by A, where x represents what we are selecting, okay, from the event A. For example, x is a selecting element and A selecting element from something. Suppose we are considering the example box. Suppose we have a box A and box have 5 red balls and 2 white balls. Here is the representation. There are total 5 red balls and 2 white balls in the box. Suppose we have to select red ball from this box. Okay, randomly you are going to select it, blindly you are going to select it from the box, red ball. Then what should be the probability that you are getting only the red ball at the first attempt? For that we have to mention the conditional probability formula, that is P of what is this R, we are going to collect that particular ball, and what is A, the box A, from where we are going to collect that particular ball. Okay, so it is represented as red ball divided by total number of balls in the box. So red balls are total 5 and total number of balls in the box is 7. So the probability of selecting a red ball from the box is 0.714. Now we proceed with the Bayes theorem, that is most important for your examination. So in probability theory, Bayes theorem or Bayes rule describes the probability of an event based on the prior knowledge of conditions that might be related to the event. So the Bayes theorem is expressed in the following formula, that is probability of A with respect to x is equal to probability of x with respect to A into probability of A divided by probability of x with respect to A into probability of A plus probability of x with respect to B into probability of B. So this, what is normal probability, that we already seen in the previous slide, and what is conditional probability, that is also we are already seen in the previous slide. But how to find the Bayes theorem, that is totally different, opposite to the conditional probability. With respect to x we are going to find the probability of A. Okay, so in many of the books this x is represented as a hypothesis. Okay, so don't be confused, instead of x there will be h in the different books, so don't be confused. Suppose there is an example, first box, there are total 2 boxes. In first box it contains 2 white balls and 3 red balls. This one, 2 white balls and 3 red balls. And second box contains 4 white and 5 red balls. Okay, one ball is drawn at random from one of the box and is found to be red. Okay, one ball is drawn from both the boxes, from both, either from A or either from B. Okay, So ball is drawn, red ball is one ball is drawn at random from one of the box and is found to be red. Okay, किस बॉक्स से निकाला है वो हमें नहीं पता है. From which box we are going to drawn the ball, that is not given. Okay, then find the probability it was drawn from the second box. Then what is the probability that that particular ball was drawn from the second box, that we have to calculate with the help of Bayes theorem. So this type of problem can be easily solved with the help of Bayes theorem. This Bayes theorem has also some of the applications like weather forecasting. It is also used in medical analysis and all. Okay, so according to the Bayes theorem, we have to find P of B by R. Instead of in previous slide what is written here, A and here X. We know that red ball is drawn from one of the box, and what is the probability that it will be drawn from the box B. That's why we are written here B. Okay, instead of X simply you have to write R, because R represents red ball. Now we have to find P of R by B into P of B, that is probability of P, and probability of red ball with respect to box B into probability of box B, plus probability of red ball with respect to A. Why we have to consider it with respect to A? Because here it is mentioned that one of the ball is drawn from the one of the boxes and it is found to be red. Find it the probability that it should be drawn from the second box. That's why we have to consider the box A also, and then we can say that this is the probability that red ball is drawn from the second box. Okay, so what's the solution? Normal probability we already have, that is P of A equal to 1 by 2. Why 1 by 2? Because there are two boxes, okay, and one ball is drawn from any of the boxes. That is why probability of A is 1 by 2. Similarly, probability of B is 1 by 2. That we already seen in previous slide. So what is conditional probability? Condition is what? Is red ball drawn from the second box. That's why we have to find probability of red ball with respect to B, with respect to box B. Let's see. So probability of red ball with respect to box A is equal to 3 by 5. Why 3 by 5? Because total there are 3 balls in the box A. Okay, and total there are 5 balls in box A, including white and red. Okay, so 3 by 5, 3 for red balls and 5 for number of balls in box A. Similarly, probability of red ball with respect to box B is 5 by 9. Total red ball is 5 and total number of balls in box B is 9. So simply we have to put this all probabilities in the Bayesian theorem. So while we putting R by B is 5 by 9 into 1 by 2, 5 by 9 into 1 by 2 plus 3 by 5 into 1 by 2, what we get? The probability that the red ball is drawn from the second box is 0.478. Okay, so this is how you have to find if any of the problem will ask in the examination. Okay, so these are the applications of Bayesian theorem. That is, it is used for weather forecasting, statistics, medicine field, management field, also different fields of finance. Okay, so the next topic is certainty factor and rule based system. So the rule system can be augmented so that one can draw variably certain conclusions. The approach, which is typically used in influenced by probability theory, but makes strong simplifying assumption concerning the independence of different rules. Without going in the details, one should be aware that the method are not always sound and erroneous conclusion about the probability may be drawn. So rule-based system are attempt to embody the knowledge of human expert within a computer system. Human knowledge is often imperfect. Okay, so certainty means what? It is true. Uncertain means what? It is uncertain, that may be true or may not be true. Okay, so certainty factor provides a simple way of updating the probabilities with the help of new evidence. Okay, we already find the probability of particular event. If we have any other evidence for that particular event, then certainty factor will help for updating that particular probability. So the basic idea is to add the certainty factor to the rule and use this to calculate the measure of belief in some hypothesis. So belief means what? That you are considering about that this will be happen according to this. It is true or not, that is hypothesis. And belief means what? How much fact you have for that particular hypothesis. Okay, so the more you have the fact, your hypothesis may be somewhat correct. It is not completely correct, somewhat correct. Okay, so we might have a rule such as X has a spot. If X has a spot and X has a fever, then X has a measles. Measles will mainly caused in the children. It is a simple disease which causes the fever and spots in the body. So the certainty factor is 0.5, we can say, because most of the children has the measles problem, which have the spots in the body, also has the fever. So then doctor can easily pretend that it may be a measles. So the certainty factor is 0.5 because it is not completely true that it has a measles. Okay. So certainty factor consists of two components, a measure of belief and a measure of disbelief. This will be the formula of measure of belief and measure of disbelief will be explained in next slide. Okay. However, right now here we are assumed that we are only have the positive evidence and equate certainty factor with measure of belief, not with the disbelief. We are considering only the belief, that we have certain amount of facts that we already have. That's why we are going to measure of belief. Suppose we have already concluded that Fred has a spot with certainty 0.3 and Fred has a fever with certainty 0.8. Okay. So to work out the probability of that particular Fred has the measles, we need to take account both the certainties of the evidence and the certainty factor attached to the rule. Also, the certainty associated with the conjoint premises, that is Fred has a spot and Fred has a fever, is taken to be minimum of the certainties attached to each. So whichever is the minimum you have to consider in the premises. So that's why we are using 0.3 minimum of 0.3 and 0.8, that is Fred has a spots and Fred has a fever. So minimum we have to take, that is 0.3. Now when we calculate the certainty of the conclusion is the total certainty of the premises multiplied by certainty factor of the rule. Okay, so total certainty of premises is 0.3 and what is the that factor we already seen in the previous slide, that is 0.5, that it has the measles has the probability of 0.5, certainty factor of 0.5. So we have to multiply for certainty of conclusion. So that is 0.3 into 0.5, that is 0.15. If we have another rule, from now what we have only that Fred has a spot and Fred has a fever, that we know till now. Okay, if we have another rule drawing that same conclusion, for example that Fred has a measles, Fred is infected as a measles, then we will need to update our certainties to reflect this additional evidence, that is known as certainty factor. We can update the certainties or facts that we already have in the existing probability, that is known as certainty factor. So to do this, we calculate the certainties using the individual rules, say certainty factor 1 and certainty factor 2. Then combine them to get the total certainty of, that is certainty factor 1 plus certainty factor 2 minus our conclusion, that is certainty factor 1 into certainty factor 2. So the result will be certainty greater than each individual certainty but still less than 1. Okay, because if it is 1, then it is totally true. Doctor will also have some assumption that these 3 or 4 things will happening with this particular guy, then it may be possible this will be happen. Okay, So for artificial intelligence, it have some heuristic value, or it have some values to predict that a particular person has this symptoms, then this particular person has this fever, this disease. Okay, then and only then artificial intelligence can say that according to symptoms, this particular guy has this disease. So the certainty factor provide a simple way of updating probabilities given new evidence. So we already have the evidence. If there is more evidence, then with the help of certainty factor, we can add that particular evidence, and then we can increase or decrease the probability of that particular disease. Okay. So this is what I already told you, that it is made up of two components. First one is measure of belief, and second one is measure of disbelief. So MB in the bracket H comma E is a measure of it is measure in between 0 to 1 of belief in hypothesis H. Hypothesis means what? We are confused that this particular may have this particular disease or this disease, for example malaria or jaundice. Okay, but with the help of that certainty factor, we can say certainty factor or probability, we can say that with the help of that particular value, we can say that this particular have only jaundice or malaria. Okay, so MB means a measure of belief in hypothesis H given the evidence E. Okay, so MB measures the extent to which the evidence supports the hypothesis. It is 0 if the evidence fails to support the hypothesis. Okay, obviously it is 0 if it does not support our hypothesis. Second, MD, that is measure of disbelief. A measure of disbelief is also measured in 0 to 1 of disbelief in hypothesis H given the evidence E, where MD measures the extent to which the evidence supports the negation of the hypothesis. Okay, that is negative. It is 0 if the evidence supports the hypothesis. In disbelief, it is totally opposite to this belief. If it is support to the hypothesis, then it is 0. In this, if it supports the hypothesis, then it will be 1. Okay. So this is the formula, that is certainty factor of hypothesis with respect to a particular event, that is M of P, that is measure of belief of hypothesis of this particular event minus measure of disbelief of this hypothesis of this particular event. So this you have to write in examination also. Okay, this is most important. So next topic is Bayesian network. So the idea is to describe the real world. It is not necessary to use a huge joint probability table in which we list the probabilities of all combinations, because most events are independent of each other. So there is no need to consider the interaction between them. We will use a more local representation in which we will describe cluster of event that interacts. Okay, so Bayesian network is a simple graphical model that represents dependencies and lack thereof in a set of variables. So it will explain this with an example, the universal example to explain the Bayes net. Let's see. So suppose we are taking one example that is universal. Suppose that there are two events which could cause grass to be wet. Either the sprinkler is on. Sprinkler means from what we are spreading the water in the garden, that particular mechanism. And second one is it's raining. Okay, so there are two events which could cause the grass to be wet. Either the sprinkler is on or it's raining. Okay, also suppose that the rain has a direct effect on the use of the sprinkler. Then when it rains, most of the time the sprinkler is usually not turned on. Okay, if it is raining, then why you are going to on the sprinkler to spread the water? Okay, so Bayes net treats the above problem with two tools. First one is graphical tools, that is this one. If it is rain, then it may be grass will be wet. It does if the sprinkler is turned on at night or at last night, then also grass can be wet. Okay, it may be possible raining is also there, sprinkler is also on, then grass will be wet. Okay, so here you have to keep in mind that this is a directed acyclic graph. That's why there is no cycle in this particular graph. This you have to keep in your mind. Okay, so this is the simple graphical model, and this is the tables for conditional probability. Okay, like the probability of raining, if it is true then it is 0.2, and if it is false then it is 0.8. These all probabilities are calculated with some of the formulas, okay, that you don't have to mention in your examination. You have simple example like this, and you have to mention that in conditional probability table the Bayesian network will works like this, and in with the help of graphical model it will be work like this. Okay, so if sprinkler is not on, also rain is not there, then it is not true that grass is wet. That's why here 1.0 will be there. And if sprinkler is false, that is off, and rain will be there, then it is true that grass will be wet. Okay, the probability of grass will be wet is 0.8. Okay, like this you have to see this all the tables. So the main idea behind the Bayesian network structure is to take a clear distinction between these two kinds of influence. The graph in above figure is known as DAG, that is directed acyclic graph, that I already told you, which represents causality relationship among the variables. So when the most genuine reasoning does not seem true, then we need to use an undirected graph in which the arc can be used to transmit probabilities in either direction depending upon where the evidence came from, and we have to ensure that there is no cycle that exists between the evidences. So next topic is fuzzy logic, that is also most important for your examination. So fuzzy logic is a form of many valued logic which the truth value of variables may be any real number between 0 and 1. So by contrast, in Boolean logic, the truth value of variable may only be integer values 0 or 1. So fuzzy logic has been employed to handle the concept of partial truth, where the truth value may range between completely true and completely false, which we are not doing in Bayesian network. So in the standard Boolean definition of for tall people are either tall or not, and there must be a specific height that defines the boundary. So one set membership has been redefined in this way. It is possible to define a reasoning system based on the technique for combining distribution. So in fuzzy logic there is 2 for false and 1 for true. Okay. In between we can also defines the boundaries, like the person whose boundary level is 0.95, that is definitely a tall, and the person who has the boundary is 0.30, it really not very tall at all. Okay, so this is an example of fuzzy logic. So in this example, in fuzzy logic we are only ranging between 0 to 1, 0 for false and 1 for true. Okay, so such method have been used in control system for devices like train, AC and washing machines. Like in AC we can say that we are setting up the degree of 26, and if it will be resist to 27, then automatically the AC will turn on. Okay, then the compressor of AC will turn off when it reaches to the degree of 26. So this is a simple application where the fuzzy logic is applied. So the concept of fuzzy logic are extensively applied in business, finance, aerospace, defense, etc. So in below image here, the meaning of expression cold, warm and hot are represented by functions mapping a scale, a temperature scale. A point on that has three truth value, one for each of the three functions. So the vertical line, this one, in the image represent the particular temperature that three arrows truth values gauge. Okay. Since the red arrow points to 0, this temperature may be interpreted as not hot. So the orange arrow that is pointing at 0.2 may describe it as slightly warm, and the blue arrow that is pointing in 0.8 fairly defines that it's a cold. Okay, so in this type of application the fuzzy logic will be used. So I hope you understand what is probability, conditional probability, how to formulate Bayes theorem, what is then fuzzy logic, what is Bayesian network. If you have any query in any of the topic, please contact me. Thank you.